Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Griq here, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever editing tutorial, and this is going to be a After Effects tutorial for 3D motion tracking. And I know a lot of people have actually asked me how to do this and how I do it so smoothly, and a lot of people get it wrong and they actually just track like 2D text instead of 3D text, and it doesn't look right. So I'm going to be showing you guys my way of doing it. I actually learned from another tutorial. I can't remember exactly what tutorial that was, but I learned my own ways around it, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it exactly. So first of all, you want to get your cinematic. I have my cinematic right there, and just drag it into this little tab right here. And after you've done that, just drag it into your timeline, and I'm going to just find a spot where it actually starts moving. You don't want the cinematic to start moving, or you don't want the cinematic to start where it's actually frozen or it stays on one spot. So you want it to start off in one motion. So when you find that spot, you want to click Control, Shift, and D. So you split the clip right there, and you want to find your ending spot right here. I would say about here. You want to click Control, Shift, D again, and you just want to delete these two other parts you don't need. Just drag this clip all the way to the beginning. Right there, that's good. And make sure you guys take this little blue part, I don't know what that's called, but just take that and drag it all the way to the end of your clip. Otherwise, it'll actually render this black screen right here, and you don't want that because your render will be much longer than it's supposed to be. So just make sure you guys do that. And yeah, after you guys have done that, just right click on the clip and say track camera. Now what this is gonna do is it's actually gonna start making tracking points all over your cinematic, and that's gonna allow you to actually make 3D text and track your 3D text and stuff. So I'll be back once that has finished. There's only 40 seconds left, so I'll be back when that's done. Now when that's all done, you guys will see this thing pop up that says solving camera, and it's almost finished then. But when it is finished, then you'll see all these tracking points all over your screen and this circle right here, and you want to find a spot that's very smooth, and you don't want to find an uneven surface, otherwise it'll just mess up your text. So you don't want it to be right there, kind of like that. You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be flat and smooth. So if you have a surface that's really flat and it has a lot of tracking points on it, and they're all on the same, I would say, angle, you want to select as many as you can. It'll just make it a lot smoother, and it will allow it to not move around as much. So I selected all of these. So once you have that, what people actually do, what they do wrong is they select create text and camera, and that makes it so you can track 2D text. But we want to do 3D text, so you want to go and set ground, plane, and origin. So once you have that done, you go over to the left side right here. If you're on projects, make sure you guys go to Effect Controls and click on Create Camera. That will make a camera in your timeline, and just highlight your tracking camera, I guess, and go Export, Max on Cinema 4D Exporter, and let's call this Tutorial Text. Move it to the desktop. Yeah, it's fine. And after you've done that, just import it, the exact same file. You just import the exact same file you just exported. So there's my tutorial text, and I'm just drag that straight to the top of my timeline, and it'll pop up this grid right here. That's totally fine. And just highlight your Cinema 4D file and click and hold Control and press E, and that will actually open up your Cinema 4D. Mine's already open, so yeah, there is my tracking point right there. And you guys want to go up to this S. I would say it's an S. It looks kind of like an S, but yeah. Go and click and hold and go select your text. Now once that's done, you'll see your text pop up, and you just highlight this and you can change it to whatever you want. So let's change it to 3D text. And there you go. Now after you've that done, now you go to this little box right here, click and hold again, go to extrude. Some will actually say extrude NURBS, doesn't really matter, it's the same thing. And you want to take your text and actually drag it so the arrow is pointing down on top of your extrude NURBS, not above it, but it has to be like pointing down and stuff. So, and then yeah, you'll see it falls right under the extrude nerves, and as you can see, your text has turned into 3D. So just highlight your extrudes and select underneath object. You'll see it says 20 centimeters. I usually change it to like 60 because it's like a good amount. It's not like too much or too little. And then you go to caps. Depending on your font, I know some fonts it won't look good, but if you have a font that's like really thin, I'd say has a thin outline, then the fillet cap looks really good. So you just go fillet cap on both these where it says cap, and that'll just make it have like a nice roundness to it, I'd say, not too edgy. So that looks really good. And yeah, so after you have that done, press Control S to save it and just click yes, and this will actually change it and make it into your After Effects program. And you go up here to your signware tab, and you go to software, and you go to standard final, and that will show it how it looks with the final product. Now obviously you do not want it to be angled, so what you want to do is you just go back here, have your extrude highlighted, and then these couple ones right here, this one is to move it up and down, left and right, and this one is to scale it bigger or smaller, and this one is just to rotate it. So we wanted to rotate this a little bit. So let's just play around with this and see what we can do. So that looks kind of like a good angle. Let's try one more time. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just move it up a little bit and backwards. And oops. Scale it a little bit like that. Why do I keep going in there? So yeah, this is the cinematic that I used for my hello video that I did, my edit that I did recently. So yeah, you want to find a spot where you can actually see all the text perfectly. So I did it right there, I'd say. Let me just make this all caps, actually. There we go. So every time you change your text, you want to just save it, you know, press Control S, so you can actually change it and see it in your After Effects. So just play around with it as you go and make it as nice as possible. So I'm not gonna make it perfect because this is just for tutorial sake, so let me just, let's see, that looks pretty good, I'd say. I would say I'll change the font real quick though. Impact's fine, yeah. Impact looks good. So let's just see how that looks like in the After Effects. That looks okay. Not too bad. Let me just tilt this a little bit. Okay, so when you have that done, you want to go over to this part here and double click, and it'll actually give you a new texture. And what I like to do is I don't like using actual imported textures or custom textures. I just make a plain white bright texture. And what I like about this is the white texture actually fits with all color corrections, and you know, it's not like it'll have a bad look to it if you have a certain color correction because of the texture. Like, white fits with all color corrections, so that's what I like about that. That's what I use all the time. So once you have that done, just save it, and as you can see, there it is. I might actually just take off the fillet caps for now because it doesn't look that good with it. That's what I meant. It gives it too much of a roundness with the font. So let's keep it like that, and now you can see the text clearly. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, cool. So after you have that done, you just want to go over here. You'll see there's actually your 3D text has gone over to the black screen as well. So you just want to go to the end of your clip and highlight your 3D text and just split that as well, so you have that deleted. And yeah, so that means you won't have the black screen and stuff. So after that, you just go to File, you go to Export, Add to Render Queue, and then you click on this one that says Lossless. Click on that, and you click on Format, and I like to export it in QuickTime. You can export it in anything else, but QuickTime is the best, I guess. So yeah, let's call this 3D tutorial. There we go. Save it and just start your render. So yeah, I'll be done once this is finished, and I will actually show you guys how it looks like with like the color corrections and stuff. So now that you have finished your render, you just want to go and find your clip that you have rendered, your cinematic, and you just want to drag it straight into your timeline. For the tutorial sake, I'm just using Sony Vegas. You can obviously use any program you like, but I just want to show you guys how it looks like with the color corrections and stuff. This is a bit blurry. I honestly don't know how to change this. Maybe. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna just go and drag my magic bullet on there, if it will allow me to. There we go. Just go edit looks. There we go. So this is actually a color correction pack that I made. I'll be releasing this soon as a giveaway or something, so you guys can actually see how this looks like for now. This one looks really good. Good Times is one of my personal favorites. I really like this one, and this is the one that I use for my hello video. That, you know, it has like the blue shine to it. Looks really good. But yeah, there we go. You guys can just play around with this when you do get this color correction pack. But yeah, that's about it for this tutorial. I just wanted to show you guys how to 3D motion track, because I know there's been a lot of like questions about how I do it and how I get it so perfectly done and everything. So yeah, that's exactly how I do it all the time. It's pretty easy and pretty simple. So if you guys did find this helpful, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And leave your suggestions on what I should do for the next tutorial, like editing tutorial, in the comments below. And yeah, I'll check you guys in the next video. Stay safe and stay awesome. Peace.